In this chapter, I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of cosplayers suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 15 is titled The Believer. It was written and directed by Rick Famuyiwa. He also directed 2 episodes last season. And in this episode, Mando requires the help of an old enemy. And again, and again, and again, this time Mando's again goes to another planet, which again looks different from the planets we have seen before. So this time the location looks more like a jungle. So in this place, the Mandalorian and his old enemy have to infiltrate an Imperial base in order to get some important coordinates. Okay, so chapter 15 was good. It's not my favorite. That will be last week's episode, which was chapter 14, The Tragedy. So in the story, the Mandalorian and Mayfeld, they have to spend some time together, some time one-on-one, and I gotta tell you, I like their chemistry. In every episode, we see how that relationship between the Mandalorian and baby Grogu is getting stronger. So in this episode, the Mandalorian actually goes the extra mile. I'm talking like he breaks one of his rules for the sake of the child. And by the way, this episode is the first time that we don't see the child at all. There is one scene that gave me a lot of Inglourious Basterds vibe. It wasn't as intense, but still good. And perhaps you're going to tell me, hey, wait a minute, man. That scene of Inglourious Basterds that you just told me about, it lasted like 10 minutes, perhaps 15. This one, on the other hand, in The Mandalorian, only lasted 2 or 3 minutes. Say something about it. And I am going to tell you, hey, I just did. The action in this chapter, it was good, it was solid, but in my opinion, not as great as the one from last week, which was directed by Robert Rodriguez. My favorite moment in this episode, it has to do with an explosion.
素晴らしい。ほら見てごらんなさい。ザーボンさん、ドドリアさん、こんな美しい花火ですよ。
Visually speaking, it looks great and it sounded like muffled. It sounded different, but to me, it's memorable and again, is my favorite scene. Okay, so these were my brief thoughts. Please let me know yours down in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. And until then, choca la mano.